Hi guys, today I'm showing you how to make a cake which would be perfect to enjoy this summer. It's a Victoria sponge which I absolutely love in the summertime. I think it goes perfect with fresh cream and fresh fruit. So for the sponge, it's so easy to make. We have all of our ingredients and we're literally putting it into a big bowl. So I'm going to start by cracking in my eggs. Just cracking those in one at a time. I like to crack the eggs in first because then I can get rid of any shell if any fall in. So add in the next one. Up next, I'm going to add in the castor sugar. So sprinkle that over. I'm now going to sift in the self-raising flour, just to get rid of any lumps we have. Get that nice and high to get lots of air into the flour. Very cloudy in here. And I'm also going to sift in the baking powder. And then finally, into this mixture, we're going to add some unsalted butter. Just take my spatula, get that in. That's room temperature, you don't want it to be too cold. That is now ready to get mixed. I'm using a paddle attachment to mix this all together. So now that's all come together, I'm just going to take my spatula and run it around the edges of the bowl just to make sure everything is being incorporated. So get all of that flour from the edge and make sure to scrape the bottom as well because sometimes it gets stuck on the bottom. And then once you've given that a good scrape, pop the lid back down and give it another little whip. And then once that's had another little beat, that is ready to go into your cake tins. I'm using two 8-inch round tins. I love making Victoria sponges because they're so easy to make. So quick to just whip up. So I'm going to pour that in and I'm actually going to use a weighing scale because I like to try get my cakes as even as possible. So I'm going to spoon that in and weigh them out. So once that's all added, I'm going to take my spatula and smooth over the top. So I'm just pushing the cake batter into the edges and getting that top lovely and smooth. So once they are all smooth, they are now ready to go into a preheated oven, which is at 160 degrees fan. For other temperatures, they'll be listed here. So my sponges were in the oven for about 25 minutes and I let them cool completely, and now it's time to decorate. So I placed my bottom sponge onto a cake stand, which I think makes it look really pretty. So it's time to assemble. To start, I'm going to smooth over some raspberry jam. I like using raspberry seedless jam as I really love the flavour. So I'm going to spread just a little layer on the bottom. Get that all coated. Don't want it to be too thick. Oh, I suppose you can add a lot if you love jam. I'm just having a nice thin layer. So on top of the raspberry jam, I'm adding on some double cream. I've just whipped that until soft peaks form. You don't want to over whip it. So spoon that on. Then I'm going to clean off that spatula and smooth that over too. On top of that cream, I'm going to crumble over some meringue. This will add such a nice texture to the cake. So I just have these tiny little drops, and I'm going to crumble them. Make sure you leave some big bits as well, and crumble some quite small. I'm also going to crumble on one of these mini strawberry meringues. I saw these in the shop. I thought it would be a great contrast in colour to add onto the cake and a nice flavour too. Final step to this layer is to add on the fresh fruit. I'm using strawberries and blueberries. So I'm just going to place those over the top, just randomly. Want to try spread them out so everyone gets a bite in each slice. This looks pretty already. I'd happily leave it as the one tier. That's a good thing with adding fresh fruit onto a cake. It already looks amazing without having any decoration. That looks perfect. The next layer is ready to go on. So I'm actually using the bottom of the cake as the top, as I like a nice smooth top. Place that on carefully. So to decorate the top, I'm going to start by adding another thin layer of raspberry jam. That jam will soak into the sponge and give it a lovely flavour. On top, more double cream. I've kept the cream on top a bit more runny, as I like to see the cream move a bit more. It's now time to decorate the top. I'm adding on some more fresh fruit, some strawberries, blueberries, and I'm also adding on some raspberries. And to give it a pop of colour, I'm going to add some of the strawberry mini meringues and also the normal mini meringues. So let's go. To garnish, I'm going to add on some fresh mint. So that's how you make Eton Mess Victoria Sponge. Easy.